You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got a couple of major things to talk about involving Project B and the amount of games that could be coming to the WNBA. Now, the amount of games that could be coming is something I have been bringing up for a while. Nearly 2 years, I said, look, they're going to get to 50 games pretty quick. Well, they're not only trying to get to 50 games, they're trying to get more games than that. Wow, this is interesting. This is from Front Office Sports, and it just dropped right here. Project B's Tokyo stop could conflict with proposed WNBA start date. This is going to get interesting. We know this, of course, is the overseas 5x5 league in which a lot of WNBA players have already signed, including most notably Kelsey Mitchell and Sophie Cunningham of the Indiana Fever. And we've been sort of bracing, waiting for other signings to come out, and I don't know if there's been a reason we haven't heard any more signings. I don't know if that's got to do with, I would love to know if the Players Association, the Players Union, has instructed players to not have these things announced as of yet, right now, because, well, it could look, well, you know, once again, you're signing with other leagues, and there's so many leagues involved here. It's gotten to be kind of wild. But this is not, to me, this proposed potential overlap date is not nearly the most interesting thing in this article. The Women's Basketball League, calling itself Project B, has announced its first tour dates, and they could overlap with the WNBA calendar. The startup league, which plans for its inaugural season to begin in November and extend through April, said this week that its Tokyo tournament stop will start March 26 through 2027, or March 26, 2027, through the end of April 4. The 5-on-5 League is a global series of tournaments in Europe, Asia, and Americas. So I guess what I am supposed to take from this is basically it's going to be around 10 days at a time, 8 days at a time. Wow, for that much money? Holy mess. Yeah, unrivaled. You are super doomed. It's likely that the Tokyo stop will be one of the league's last before players return to the WNBA. However, the WNBA's proposed changes to the league's competition window could be an issue. Now, we know the league is talking about moving back the starting date, right? And because there's been talk of it conflicting with the NC2A tournament, which I think is a terrible idea. All right? I mean, this where you get your talent, the NC2A tournament. Stay away from the tournament. You know, at this point, the tournament tends to be the best advertisement of women's basketball outside of a Caitlin Clark game that there is. It's literally Caitlin Clark and then whatever's going on in the NC2A tournament. That is the best advertising of women's basketball. The league and the WNBPA, the Players Union, are currently in a stalemate in discussions for a new collective bargaining agreement. The union is still waiting for a response to a proposal they submitted close to Christmas, according to sources familiar with negotiations. That's hilarious. The owners still haven't responded. That's the biggest well, we're good. Well, it's not going to happen. We're not even entertaining that. In fact, we think your proposal's so trash that we didn't bother to respond. In that proposal, and this is why they think it's trash, in that proposal, players are seeking a salary cap of $10.5 million and roughly 30% share of the league's gross revenue. This proposal was in response to the leagues, which included a $5 million salary cap and a share of net revenue. Again, I think net revenue is fair If you want to share after a profit is turned, it makes sense. Before it's turned, nah, forget it. That would be a breaking point for me too. This is where it gets very interesting. Among the league's other proposed items was an expanded schedule. We have not heard about this, to my knowledge. I have not. I knew it was rumored, like before last year, etc., that eventually they would try to add on more games. This is where we officially see where it's at. The league has got it in their proposed CBA. According to a source familiar with negotiation, the WNBA is proposing an increase from 44 games to between 50 and 54 games in the new CBA. Yeah. I knew it was going to be 50 games. And what I'm guessing this is it would be 50 games for the first year of the CBA, and then the last year it would move up to 54 games. That's my gut feeling. I don't know that for a fact. Okay? But that's my gut feeling. Is the start of it would be 50 games, so they go from 44 to 50. Would that be this year? So if I'm reading this right, they could play 50 games this year under a new CBA. Oh, that's interesting. And maybe they could go to 54 games. I don't know. It depends on how that's laid out. The league's proposed start date for training camp is as early as mid-March, with the finals ending in November. A number of league sources expressed confusion over a potential mid-March start date, questioning how training camp could overlap with the NC2A schedule. Training camp started at April 27th last year, 2 weeks after the WNBA draft. Under the current CBA, the league has the ability to start training camp as early as April 1. The league has never implemented that early date for a number of reasons, including that the Final Four is played on the first weekend in April. The WNBA did not respond for comment. So, oh man. Oh, this just added a whole layer. Number one, if there is a season, guys, you just got yourself six more Caitlin Clark games this year. Just that quick, from 44 to 50, provided they agree on the games, which I'm guessing they are. Look, if these players want to make more money, they're going to have to play more games too. That's a thing. And like I said, I knew it was coming. They've steadily increased. They went from 40 to 44, and I thought the next jump was going to be 48. Looks like they're going straight to 50. And then they're trying to get to 54. I think in like 10 years, it's going to be 60 games. And that's where it's going to end probably. But that's my feeling. Interesting. A little bit of cross-pollination between Project B and the WNBA there. Now, you're talking about a matter of, let me just look once again. We're talking about the Tokyo stop being, so it'd be a conflict potentially of 3 games. My guess would be the WNBA would ignore that. That's my gut feeling. They would literally be like, okay, training camp's going to start April 6th now and avoid Project B. All right. Now they got no reason to play ball with Project B, except it's clear that a lot of the best talent in the WNBA may end up playing over there. So that's probably why you want to. There are certain areas where the league and another league could play nice. And if it's a matter of 3 days, why not figure it out? All right. Because look, the one thing this league is going to give you an advantage of that Unrivaled's not, number one, it's 5-on-5. Number two, it's touring globally. That is going to help the WNBA, even though it's Project B. because it's bringing a larger audience to women's basketball. I mean, instead of Unrivaled just being played in a dugout in Miami somewhere. You get my point. That league is literally become a punchline. Wow. 54 games. Tell me what you think. Are you down with another full 10 games? My gut feeling is it'd probably be like 3 or 4 years from now. But it sounds like we might go to 50 right off the rip if they get a deal done. Players. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.